Good morning, folks, and welcome to FYI. It is Wednesday, the 28th day, believe it or not, the 28th day of June 2023. Another day, and we're inching so much closer to the end of the month. I don't know how many of you wanted to get out to June, but I think June was a relatively good month, all things being equal, save and except some of these damning allegations that were made by this 16-year-old against the sitting minister. Yep, damning allegations. Yep, minister of what? Father have his mercies. But good to have each and every one of you joining the live this morning, wherever you're coming in from, wherever you're rocking and coming from, folks. We're happy to have you. We are delighted to have all of you join us. Vashti, Magnot, good to have you, and Rupert. Good to have Maureen here with us as well, and Karen. Good to have you, folks, wherever you're joining us from. Kilbert, or is it Kybert Hope? Good to have you too. Seymour Williams, Karen McPherson, great to have you. Debbie Collins joining us too. And we got Bossman, is it Golive, Bossman? Apologies if the pronunciation is off. June Chase is joining us. Mavis Davis, well, joining us as well. Guys, we're happy to have each and every one of you who joined in the broadcast this morning. And, you know, we always say, as you guys come on, as you come on, partner with us as well. Share the live, smash that emoji button, and we encourage you guys to partner with us so that we can keep on keeping on, folks. So that we can keep on keeping on. Unfortunately, it costs something to get the programs done week after week, month after month, and now year after year. It costs something, good folks. And so we encourage you guys to partner with us. Wherever you're joining us from, and we're going to ensure that we are shared to all of the valid places, the credible places. So if you're picking us up on one of our Facebook pages, if you're picking us up on one of the social media platforms, follow, whichever platform that is. Follow so that you're always in tune. You're always in touch with what's happening. Click that follow button, and that's going to help us too to get valid and credible information all over the place. Yvette, Judah, Lynn Finance, good morning, Lynn. All those of you guys who are joining us from the diaspora, all our beautiful, wonderful folks. Stacey Ann Stoll. Stacey Ann, thanks for the thing. Lynette Zephyr, all the other folks who are joining us this morning. Simply delighted that you folks could join us. Share the live as you come on, guys. Smash that emoji button for us. And partner with us as well. Margaret Morris, Elizabeth Howard, Orwin Don. Join at just the right time. You rocked and come in at just the right time. Good to see you. Bernadette Patricia Miller. Good to have you here. Not Miller. Good to have you, Margaret Morris, and the other folks. Beautiful and wonderful as you are joining us this morning. Roxanne Campbell, good to see you there. Jillian Williams, thanks for the thing. Jillian has made a contribution to our broadcast on our YouTube channel. They allow you to do it live. And very shortly, we're hoping that Facebook allows us to do it as well. Folks, Jillian Williams, who's joining us via YouTube. There's a $ at the bottom of the comment section on YouTube. And Jillian has followed that $ and has led her to purchase a sticker or something of that sort. And a portion of that comes to us. Thank you, Jillian. Thank you so much, Jillian. Edward Brooms is here as well. Orlita John is here too. So good morning to each and every one of you. For your information, folks, FYI, thanks for joining our humble broadcast at this end. For your information, we have a couple of things for your consideration. This morning, Troy Fraser, good to have you, and Lennox Anderson here too. Orindal Cook, right across the bridge, right across Region 3. Hopping and skipping a jump right across the other side there. Good to have you. Thanks again, Jillian Williams. Thank you so much. Leonard Fraser, we see you there. Alexis Williams too. Good to see Alexis Williams. Folks, is the one thing that has dominated the headlines, folks. The Nigel Damla, the rape scandal, saga allegations, all the above, dominating the headlines. And them boys tried so hard to shift the conversation to what they want to talk to set the agenda. That's what we learned in journalism, to set the agenda. But the headlines are so damning. People are locked in to see the outcome of this. Godfrey Lane is here. Antron Nicholson is here as well. Guys, good to see you. Tomorrow's Thursday, the 29th, and then boom! 44, here we come. Vex. I ain't look too bad though. Oh, yeah. I ain't look too bad at all. Good to have you, as I said. Norma Bruce, Desiree Smart Felix, Akim Peters, former deputy mayor of the municipality of Georgetown, has joined us, locked in. Good to see you, Akim, and Debbie, and Rhonda Gordon, and all the other wonderful folks joining us. We know some of you come for the news, the information, the infotainment. Some of you come to it because you're fast. You want to see who else on the live. And folks, we're always mindful that there's a show, happening in front of the cameras, and there's a show happening in the comment section. So you guys just go ahead and do your thing. Don't let me distract you. Don't let us distract you, folks, from what you've come to do. Hi, good morning, Natasha. Good to see you, Natasha. Glenn, Natasha, Glenn. Good to see you. Marcia Chesney, good to see you as well. Clyde McPherson, good to see you. Good to see all of you folks. Yolanda Thomas, Saide here watching from Queens. So far, it's yours, make we got the Citizen International program. Because you all joining us from all over the place. Naomi Drucker, how are you doing out there? Naomi, Margaret Morris is here as well, and Charmy Gibbs. Ayabo Natasha Congraves is here with us as well. And folks, we're just simply delighted. We're happy that so many of you can join us from so many different places. Happy and delighted. Respect and manners. Respect and manners. 3 salute in one morning. You don't get better than that. Folks, we are happy that all of you are here with us. We're fired up and we're ready to go, and we hope that you guys are as well. Guthrie Lane, we'll see you there too. We're ready to get into the morning papers and what we're covering. We don't know if we can come out the morning papers because it's so much. It's plenty us. Linda McCalbert, good to see you there. Naomi Draco, how are you doing this morning? How are things at your end? Naomi, what's for breakfast at your end, Naomi? What's the weather like at your end, Naomi? What is your day like? What are you going to do? What's on your agenda for the day? We want to know. We fast too. Yeah. Orin says I could be her son. Yeah. I could be. Who knows? Dennis Dazelle, good to see you. Kurt Heidekan, good to see you as well. And Kyle Roberts, Margaret Nelson. It's a privilege to be here with you folks. Share the live, smash that emoji. But there's a lot of things them boy talking this morning that we want to touch on, that we want to cover. A lot of things are being said, a lot of things are being talked about. Jack getting a little small. That's why you're doing coming up on a new board there. Grown since the last one. Folks, good to have you guys here with us this morning. Great to have you. Fidel, Innes, and Julian Mars. Isabella Butchers. Isabella, good morning to you. Good morning. The tea bags have been working very nicely. Isabella brought us some very lovely tea bags. And the older I get, like, it's less dairy products and so on. So I tend to just take it plain. A little sugar, of course. We ain't that poor. Some people just drink tea bag just like that. Like they have their coffee. Just coffee. No sugar, nothing else. Yeah. We're at the age and stage yet. A little sugar with a tea bag or whatever. What have you? But good to have you folks. Thanks again, Isabella, for all the other stuff, the books and the cash and all the other stuff that's gonna keep us going. Good to well, if you folks are standing, we not know how we can say thanks. Thanks for viewing. Thanks for viewing, folks. Horace Calder says he's at JFK. Where you going, Horace? Where you off to? You're on work assignment. You're on vacation. Don't stop halfway. We want to do the whole thing. Don't stop halfway. A lot of stuff we're covering, folks. It's a good day at our end. It's raining. But we can take what we can get. We can take what we can get and wait for what we want. Selena Fraser is joining us from Canada. Selena says, good morning to all the lovely souls. Thank you so much, Selena. Great to have you here with us. Pace and power, respect and manners. Good to see you at this end. Gil Alicock, Margaret Nelson, Vanessa Wardine. Good to see each and every one of you. Yeah. Good to see. Isabella, but this sugar is not good for you. I understand. Coming off slowly. Put aside bread, coming off of rice. Yeah. I understand. Getting on in age and so on. Got to take better care of the old body. Got to take better care of the old body, folks. We got a couple of things we want to share with you guys this morning that we are following. You think things easy in this place? Well, they are not. Whoever told you they're easy. They are not. A couple of things we're following in the morning papers, good folks. They don't even want to move. More questions and answers. You see this government, here's problems. Let me come a little closer. This government here's problems. Now, people are asking, how did the Hess boss, right, how did he know that a certain outcome would be the result in this, the oil and gas insurance case that is before the High Court and then ultimately went before the Court of Appeal locally. How did he know there'd be a stay on it? And so questions are being asked because the boss at Hess, John Hess, he said, Irfan told him, and I'm happy for publications like Kaito News who stay on top of these stories. I'm happy for publications like Kaito News because they're reporting this morning that the recent comments by John Hess, CEO of Hess Corporation, that Guyana head of state Irfan Ali was emphatic that a stay would be put in place following the High Court order for the Esso Petroleum and Production Guyana Limited, EEPGL, to provide an unlimited guarantee from its parent company of course, sparked concern. Hess said that. Irfan told him a stay would be put in place. And the court didn't decide yet. How Irfan knew? And we know from past experience, they have a very interventionist way about them. Right? An interference way about them. It was Paul Slow who told us that Irfan called him about why his acolytes weren't being promoted. That is what he said. That is what he said. And then Patrick Yag spoke about how Gail Teixeira and one of the commissions that he was on was interfering with the work of the commission. So before Rishi Prasad, Justice Rishi Prasad, I think it was, who asked for the stay from the CCJ, who put that forward as a ruling out of the Court of Appeal, locally rather, the Court of Appeal, how did Irfan know it would happen? Folks, you think there's one thing wrong in this country? Huh? Yolanda Drummond say Irfan doing a lot. Penelope Hudson, you think there's one thing wrong in this 592 here, or in Dawn, who I could be her son, Glenford Gordon, you think there's one thing wrong? How did Irfan know? How did he know? According to Kaito News, he was emphatic. That's what Kaito News is reporting. He was emphatic that the stay would be put in place. How did he know? And that is what Kemraj Ramjitan calls the breaking down of the guardrails of our democracy. The judiciary is there to be checks and balances on the executive. And then you got the legislation, the National Assembly, separation of powers. But under these jagabats and trench crappos, everything is convoluted. No clear lines are drawn. The lines are blurred, as a matter of fact. How did he know? So that's one of the questions. Tommy Gibbs, the light one, I see he left early last evening. Bossman, Susan Jacobs, how did he know? Naomi Drucker, more questions than answers. Right. More questions than answers. Bernadette, Beverly, Basil, good to have you. More questions than answers. If we're going to tell us, and that is what Kaito News is proffering this morning, President Irfan Ali must explain the conversation with oil company on stay of Justice Kissoon's ruling. He must explain that. Has to explain it to the guy, these people. Don't come wrong with funny. Don't do it. So folks, this is one of the issues that we're tracking this morning. More questions and answers. More questions than answers. Yep. I have Natasha, Pinky Kerr, Celeste Clark, one of the things we're tracking this morning. You think you got life hard? Folks, there got folks in this country who got life more hard. The light one, thanks for your contribution there. We say thank you so much. You think you got life hard? Good friends. They got folks who got life more hard. More hard. When we saw this story of this family that got lost in the interior of this country, it just said to us, what little hardships that you got, it might be incomparable to what other folks are going through, right? So first off, congrats to the 31st Special Forces Squadron of the Ghana Defense Force that jumped into action when they learned that this family had gone missing. Right? The family has been found, as our graphic says, found alive. 21st of June, it's a couple of days ago, 68-year-old Jareen George, her 19-year-old daughter, right? Sonora Zina, Sonoraza George. I want to make sure I get it right. Jareen, Sonoraza George, and the daughter, who is 19 years old, Sonoraza George, her 2-year-old son, the 19-year-old, 2-year-old son, Vel, V-E-L. Here what the report says. They set off from a place called Philippi on foot to Chinowing. That's right in Guyana. On foot. They failed to arrive at their destination on the same day as expected, raising an alarm. They said the journey from Philippi to Chinowing is a day's journey on foot. That's what fascinated me. The family just take off walking. Philippi to Chinowing on foot. Those who are familiar with this geography can tell us in miles how far it is. It's a day's walk. And when they didn't turn up at Chinowing, it raised alarms that the folks at Chinowing enlisted the help of the GDF, and that's how they get involved. Huh? If you take off on a day's walking, it's because you're going on some hike. Not because you have to walk. On a day's walk. Folks, don't tell us about all this big GDP and fastest growing economy. As we pointed out yesterday morning, one letter writer in the daily newspaper said there's no correlation between that and the lived experiences of people in this country. Philippi to Chinowing, the family took off walking and got lost. That's the point they're making. The family got lost. The alarm was raised. A search party was organized, but unfortunately, it could not locate the missing family initially. With the situation growing increasingly urgent, authorities decided to deploy a patrol from the 31 Special Forces Squadron to aid the search and rescue. Right? And after 3 hours of scouring the rugged terrain, the patrol managed to locate the 3 persons. Right? Relief watched over the search party as they discovered the missing villagers sound and safe and sound. Again, they said the Special Forces Squadron wasted no time in assessing the family's condition, and to their immense satisfaction, the GDF medics confirmed that all 3 individuals were in good health. And they were escorted, the individuals, they said they were escorted back to Chinawing. And of course, the village, they say, was ecstatic that they were found alive. Right? Could you imagine if that is your daily fare? To get from point A to B, just gotta walk. Not a minibus coming up the road, no taxi. Just gotta walk. Right? 60-plus-year-old woman, the 18-year-old daughter, and a 2-year-old. Just take off walking. It's a day's walk. Just walk. You think you get hardship? Huh? You think you get hardship in this life? This is what folks going through every day. When I say Wardine, say thank God they're okay. Yeah. Yeah. Thank God they're okay. I just try to imagine the child. Right? Imagine a Nestum pack here, and baby formula and all the other things. I try to remember the baby formula. Something lack, Similac, and all the lacks. Right? You got a baby formula pack here, so little cook up and little plantain and fried fish, little curry pack away, and so just take off walking. Just take off. I remember when we touched down at I think it was Keiko, or was it Paramakatoy International Airport? I'm just being a little facetious. You touch down on some of these airships and the interior, just a little shack, that's a check-in point. Right? And we saw a little family waiting there. I asked them, I said, you waiting for the flight? These are indigenous brothers and sisters. I said, no. We just taking a break, taking a little shelter to go again. They walk in. Right? Just walk in. Taking a little shelter, refreshing yourself to go again. Right? Little baby in what is it called? A bashi. Right? Wrap up. Nice. And the couple heading out. And we watched them as we landed there, walk into the distance and fade into the horizon. You think you got it rough? Huh? You think you got it rough? Folks got it real rough in this country. It's just a reminder, whatever you're going through, you put it in context, you realize you ain't going through nothing at all. You ain't going through nothing at all. You wake up this morning, have to set off walking on a day's walk from Brooklyn to Queens. And a day's walk from Region 3 to Georgetown. Might be a half day. Half day. Folks got it rough in this place. They're walking because they want to walk. Because that's the only choice they got. Where they could walk or run. That's the only choice they have. Right? The oil money that we got must come to benefit all Guyana. You think those people weren't concerned about how much percentage GDP we got? 30% growth projected and all that nonsense? You think they feel that their daily lives are going to be affected by that? Huh? You're right in the city here and your life will change. Your life will change. Much more people walking between Philippi and Chinawing. Father, have mercy on us. Father, have his mercies. Father, have his mercies. So that was one we thought we ought to share with you. And as we're in the interior, the rollout Joe Singh, he's bound now for Mahathir. He's going to be conducting this, heading the Commission of Inquiry. One wonders why they didn't go for independent people like they did for the electoral inquiry. One wonders why. And if you didn't know, for information, Joe Singh heads up the Natural Resources Fund, the NRF. And with that alone, he should got his hands full. But for some reason, he said, no, and he said, all right, I can take another walk. I can take another walk. Would have loved to see independent people. Bring some people from overseas who got a dog in the fight, a stake in the game. Conduct a proper inquiry. You all know we have a low trust in this country. Very, very low trust in this country. Very, very low trust in this country. And people want to know what were the circumstances that led to this fire. Right? Could it have been avoided? So after a month, and a lot of pushback from the public, and why it was taking so long, roll out Joe Singh. Enter Joe Singh stage left. Enter Joe Singh stage left. Folks, share the like, smash that emoji button. For us. Partner with us as well. Some of the things we're following this morning. And you know, as you start your day, folks, we want to advise you. As you start your day, please be advised if you're going to be on the hunt for a Justice of the Peace, Commissioner of Oaths to affidavit. We want to recommend the Alistair Collins form. Are you in need of reliable and professional assistance with your important documents? Look no further, folks. Alistair Collins, a renowned Commissioner of Oaths to affidavit and the Justice of the Peace, is here to serve you at the Alistair Collins form. Conveniently located at the Callion Mall on Lamaha Street between Camp and Waterloo Streets. They can be contacted. The firm and the team, 649-6410. Years of experience and commitment below the belt. The Alistair Collins and his dedicated team are your go-to experts, folks, for all your documentation needs. We use them all the time. Very convenient and efficient, professional people. Professional people. Very professional people. That much we can say. Tell them we send you. We send you all. The protests, folks, at Pleasance. Another distraction, and this is part of the strategy. Yolanda knows it. Sheila Boychild knows it. Ayabo Natasha knows it. J.T. Cole knows it. Wayne Brown, Andrew Griffith. I never see some folks who create a problem and then they swoop down like the saviors. Right? Swoop down like the saviors. Number of persons, their Pleasance where they want to move, vendors off the road, taking bread out of people's mouth. They serve eviction notice, cause the whole furore there, and then Jack Deal swoop down. Swoop down last evening. But the folks weren't having it. The folks were not having it in Pleasance. They always want to create the conundrums, create the chaos, create the confusion, and then they come in. We to the rescue. And as Darlene Dorset is saying, right, they want to distract from the rape cases. As we will tell you later on in the broadcast, more and more people coming forward. More and more people coming forward. And so we encourage the great and resilient people of the Republic of Pleasance to stand firm. Why is it when you look around this country, right, it's one particular set of people that this administration consistently taking bread out of the mouth. Consistently. One set of people are always left holding the pink slips. Folks, there are a huge unemployment rate in this country. Cost of living sky high. Nothing circulating for the poor, you know, in this country. And now, these people trying to eke out an honest living, unlike some with all the cocaine and the ganja that they're growing and planting, exporting and importing. The great, strong, resilient people of Pleasance trying to earn an honest living. And these jacobats and trench crappos coming to take bread out of the mouth. You think you understand what's happening in this country? You're already fetching a burden. And they're going to look to increase it. Right? The people from Plaisance, every day they get up and they're on their own journey from Philippi to Chinoing. They're on their own journey every day. They don't complain. They're going to apply the little trade on the roadside. Good food. Good food. Or an honest dollar. And then this government comes and say, don't go from Philippi to Chinoing. Right? I want you to walk from Lethem to Georgetown. That's the burden they want to put on their back. How much of them ever stop and patronize? Buy a box of cook-up. Buy some sauce, some black pudding, some cake from any one of those vendors. They pass and they say, oh, these vermins, we got to eradicate them. One of the days when I stopped and I bought some food, engaging the vendor, I was asking her, I said, how long are you selling out here and so on? Months ago. She said, well, she never used to be in front. She used to be in the back end, doing the preparation of the food and setting it out. And the woman said, the woman who was carrying on the operation, who headed the operation, get fed up and just fly out. She got fed up and just fly out. And so she moved from the back now to the front and managing the things. Get fed up again and just fly out. You understand why the lines are so long by the passport office? Always on in the PPP, but the lines are so long by the embassies. The woman told me, like she was sending that combination spirit, she just fly out. Flew, took flight, she beat out. Fed up with them. So she now moved from the back with the preparation. She got other folks helping her, and she now manning the front end. And people do that. I always ask, how early you wake up to start? Right? People go in at 11, they wake up at 12 and start preparing. Wake up at 1 and start preparing. And then these folks, wicked folks, are going to add to their burden. And then big head run in there now like a savior. Run in there like a savior. Folks, you understand what's happening in the 592? You understand what's happening? And you're telling them now, walk from Philippi to Chinoing. Adding to the burden. Adding to it. People sending the kids through school. You know, paying the rent, the light bill, the mortgage. For what I'm making there. And you're going to tell them, move. And not only move, there's nothing to supplement that. You can't go and clocking nowhere for a unemployment benefit or anything like that. And then when the cash grant starts sharing, they start sharing there. You go 6 and all over the place. And then by the time they come to Plaisance now, pink slips. Pink slips. Stand your ground, Plaisance. Nonsense. Stand your ground. But you know, this is the side issues and distractions from this. Because they're holding on to him with all their life. Holding on to him with all their life. They don't want to let him go. No, 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 no. This has been the pervasive issue in this country, dominating the headlines at the forefront of people's minds for the last 2 weeks, since that 16-year-old indigenous student, alleged that she was brutally, savagely raped and sodomized by Minister of Local Government and Regional Development, Nigel Damrell. Harrowing account. pages long on what took place. She says she was groomed. Met her when she was 15, sometime last year. 3 months later, she said she turned 16. And at a child bar there in Sopranoville, Camberville, wherever it is in the city, government flats, government managed, government control, took her there. So she brought your brother for safety. But that wasn't enough. You sit downstairs and you watch TV. The horroring ordeal happened upstairs. You think it is in this place? She walking show in Philippi to Chinawing right now. Own Philippi to Chinawing. Whole pack of nonsense. It's happening out there. This morning's paper, Kaitra News, very short article, said money pass. Her relative said money pass. And it says after the money pass, the girl got vexed. Van Classic, Wayne Brown, Sean Jr. This is after the money pass. Right? The girl exposed them. Kaitra News this morning. The teenage girl who was allegedly raped by a government official reportedly released the rape allegation story after her parents allegedly took a settlement from the accused. According to a relative, relative know the whole thing. The relative know the whole thing. The light one, Yolanda, Natasha, Lynette, Glenford, Koana, Sharon. The relative know the whole thing. The relative like me in the family. You know the whole thing. Right? According to a relative, the accused and the girl's parents had a meeting. Now if you do nothing, you should be able to defend yourself. Or people say if you went to name can't get called, you should be able to defend yourself. Come out in public and say, this is extortion. What have you? According to the relative, the accused and the girl's parents had a meeting. And it was during this meeting that the parents reportedly agreed to take a settlement instead of pursuing the matter. Here was 10 million. Paid in 2 parts, 5. We know the whole thing. 10 million in 2 parts. Right? And then the relative reports to Kaitra News. She thinks her mommy would have stood up for her, not knowing that the mother would have taken the bribe. This was the relative relating to the papers. Some of them people are right. Will you there? Sell you down the road, you know. Sell you down the road. She thought her mother would stand up for she and not take a bribe. And that is why, according to Kaitra News here, she put out the letter to make everybody see. I tell you what Kaitra said. They know the whole thing. That's why she put out the letter to make everybody see. She wanted her mother and father to stand up for she. That's what the paper said. Reporting what the relative reported to them. She wanted the mother and the father to stand up for she. The relative told the publication. They want to say when the allegations surfaced, Kaitra News had contacted the girl, and during the first conversation, she declined to comment. However, she later returned the call to clarify that she was not involved. You know where this girl come from? Me know it's the Constitution. How she make up, but she gotta be strong. She gotta be wise. She gotta be brilliant. In spite of the odds stacked against her, the girl stand up, you know, Kwanamingo. Joylyn Cotton, the girl stand up, you know. Yvette Moore, Colin Tobin, Antonio Hackett, Antonio, the girl stand up, you know. In spite of the odds, you think that's easy? You think that is easy? That is what the papers reporting. That's the whole article right there. She thought she family with it. She wanted she father to stand up for she. She wanted her mother and father to stand up for she. The relative told this publication, referring to Kaitra News. And then she detailed in the letter what happened. Yeah. Relatives said they know the whole thing. The whole thing. Naomi Drucker said, when God walk in, he walk in. You know what God make this young lady from or with? I don't know we make some of them from or with. And you know, just like how the parents, they take him buyout. Some of we take him buyout too, you know. Some of we quiet. Because it's buyout, we take buyout. Compromise myself. Now if he didn't do nothing, what are you trying to buy the silence for? If you didn't do anything, why are you trying to buy the silence? That'll make no sense. But it gets worse though, because this is like we Me Too moment here in Guyana. You remember the Me Too movement in the US? Huh? This is like we Me Too moment. And then this hypocrite, Irfan Ali. Hypocrite of the worst order. Hypocrite. Right? Y'all tag him. Tag Ministry of the Presidency page, Ministry of the obviously the President page. Tag he personally too. It's a hypocrite. Hypocrite of the worst order. We said so. Right? I will tell you why. Man said there'll be no compromise on the rights of women and children. There will be no compromise. President Irfan Ali yesterday assured that he would respect the outcome of the investigation into the sexual assault allegations leveled against local government minister Nigel Damrell. Right? He said as president, they have no choice behind the decisions of the institutions. Like the Court of Appeal, huh? He have no choice behind the decisions of the institutions. The institutions are independent of the executive, like the Court of Appeal. Huh? It is not a matter of standing behind. It is a matter of respecting whatever outcome is there, he uttered. Right? He said, I am very strong on people's rights and women and children. Folks, you and I were right here. Huh? Right here. Well, is it Ozzy? Ozzy, what's the fellow's name? The PvP guy? From the diaspora? What's Ozzy's name? Ozzy is on camera beating up a woman in a supermarket in Bath settlement, beating up a woman. Ali never said a word. They flew him out. Flew him out the following day. Yeah? Flew him out the following day. And Ali, Ozzy Rogers, thank you very much, Chin Singh. Ozzy Rogers, they flew him out. And this fella here wants to say that he respects the rights of women and children and there'll be no compromise. He done compromise already. Fully compromised, bought, sold, and delivered to the other companies. And others fully compromised. Oh, there'll be no compromise on the rights of women and children. Hypocrite. 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 Philistine and the Pharisee. And that's just one instance. Ozzy Rogers happened. They knew Sharon Das had abused that woman in India in the worst, vilest of ways. They knew and sat on that information. And this hypocrite, Irfan Ali, yesterday, Leslin, yesterday, Seymour, Karen, and the others, he come out and say that there'll be no compromise on the rights of women and children It's only after you people out there push back so hard against them. Huh? And what did he do? The same thing he did in the Dharmalal situation. Oh, Charidas and I had a conversation. And we have agreed that he will no longer blah, 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 blah. Nonsense, nonsense, nonsense. In McCarthy Hughes' voice, bullshit. We have agreed. Oh, Dharmalal and I spoke. And he has offered to go on administrative leave while this matter is being investigated. What kind of president is he? He's not his own man. Compromised. Compromised. But he will not compromise against the rights of women and children. Hypocrite! Hypocrite! Don't compromise. Every fiber of his being, he's a hypocrite. Hypocrite. There are a lot of little hypocrites following him. Wouldn't say a word on this issue. Not even a middle road to say they condemn sexual assault. But let us wait to see what comes out of the investigation. Onage hypocrite. Onage Walden is a hypocrite. But before I get to Sheila, I must touch on the First Lady. Hypocrite of the highest order. Vindhya Prasad, religious hypocrite, is the worst kind. That's why I will say Vindhya is one of the most dangerous women in this administration. A religious hypocrite is one of the worst kind. That's why Father says, many shall say, Lord, Lord. But on that great and terrible day of judgment, I will say, I know y'all. I didn't know y'all. A religious hypocrite is the worst kind. Vindhya Prasad, hypocrite. Susan Rodriguez, but we know she busy. Busy with wedding and thing. Vegas wedding or wherever they get married. She busy, hypocrite. Another hypocrite. And then you got the other one by public service. She does so little, can't remember her name. Hypocrite. Hypocrite. Sonia Parag. Hypocrite. Pack of hypocrites. There no compromise on the rights of women and children. No compromise. Hypocrites. They know what is happening. And some of them deeply involved in the foolishness themselves. And he will not compromise. He had a word of rebuke to Charinas. He had a word of rebuke for Ozzy Rogers. On tape. On tape. There's not only violence against women and children. We saw one of their members in the cadre of the PUP bite a policeman. Publicly bit a policeman. She's still working for them. Still working for them. And he talking about no compromise. Done compromise. Long time. Done compromise. Long time. Long time. Done compromise. Don Hastings Williams was on the protest line and spoke to this issue of indigenous girls and the pillaging, the exploitation, sexual exploitation of our indigenous girls. And yesterday, Don was livid that if they don't get justice here, they're going to take it to the international community. As the indigenous people so often have to do. And we've chronicled here, land issue after land issue. where there's no satisfaction coming from the PPP government. They got to carry it internationally. That's where they can carry it, where they got to carry it. Take a look and take a listen. Dawn Hastings Williams, in her own words, former minister and general secretary of the People's National Congress, reform.
The constitution of this country has Guyana make commitment to ensure that the rights of the child is upheld, and especially those who are in a vulnerable situation. And we all know that the indigenous population is known as a vulnerable population in this country. And for decades, this has been happening. And I say that because of the reports that are now coming out. Since 2000 to 2004, reports were made to authorities, and since then nothing has been done. And so to not allow justice to prevail, to not allow the process without being hindered and without being an impartial investigation being done, this will be a big blow and a slap in the face on the Convention on the Rights of the Children. We are a signatory to that convention. There is also what we call Indigenous Peoples' Rights. We have a whole ministry that is dedicated to look after the affairs and the welfare of the Amerindians or indigenous peoples of this country. No other race, no other thing has that special ministry. And to this date, I haven't seen anything coming out from the Minister of Indigenous Peoples Affairs, where she ought to say a statement. I don't know, being silent, I think in my opinion, and in the opinion of all the indigenous brothers and sisters, being silent is acceptance. It is normal that these things be done to our indigenous boys and girls. And you know, I would really want the indigenous population to come out, even if we have to walk from quarantine and walk to Georgetown, we can do it. If we have to walk from Lethem or Karasabai and come down to show how serious we are, we can do it. We have done it in the past. If we could have crossed the Bering Strait and end up in the shores of Guyana, why can't we do that? Nothing is impossible for us to do. That is how passionate I am about representing these young girls. And if I get my people to do it, I know they will come on board and do it. So I am asking again, I am asking the government of this country, if they have any love and care for their indigenous people, well, then they ought to come out and do the right thing. We have been calling for the minister who is in question to be sent home. He needs to be fired. We have no more confidence in him. There is no confidence in that minister any longer. And he, being the Minister of Regional, Local, and Regional Development, he has to interface with our two shows. He has to interface with the councillors who are now sworn in these townships, these hinterland townships. So I am saying, I am pleading, and I need us to bring this to an end. Justice must be served, and justice must prevail. I am also calling, I continue, and I'm not going to stop here. I'm going to go out to international organizations. I am not going to stay here until justice is served, but I am trying to follow protocols. I'm trying to follow procedures that we deal with it in our country first. And if we cannot find satisfaction here, then we're going to look out to our international brothers. We have organizations in Bolivia. We have organizations in Peru. We have organizations in Canada and all over this world that we can approach, and we can come together to push this matter forward. So that is my position, and my position will remain the same until justice is served to my young indigenous sister.
Yep, that was Dawn Hastings Williams, former Minister of Government and the current General Secretary of the People's National Congress, Reform. Hypocrite, Pauline Sukai. Pauline Sukai is a hypocrite. Hypocrite. Not a hypocrite. Dawn articulated it so elegantly. This is a whole ministry set up for single purpose. Single purpose. See? Oversight of the indigenous community, our brothers and sisters. Single purpose. And to date, Alien Mount Sukai has not uttered a word. You will think with dental works paid for by the state, she do a lot more talking. Not so. Not so. She has not offered a word. Too busy in the casinos in the hinterland. Too busy. See? Too busy getting her groove back like Stella. Too busy. Hypocrite. Hypocrite Pauline Sukai is a hypocrite. Hypocrite. Let me shut down the whole Ministry of Indigenous Affairs because they are looking after the welfare of our indigenous brothers and sisters. Clearly. Let's just slush fun. Hypocrite. Hypocrite. Who vex? But hold on, stick a pin. Stick a pin. Stick a pin. Stuck a pin. Stick a pin. Folks, every time you think in this country, things can get worse. Father have his mercies. Every time you think things cannot get worse, who's sharing the live this morning? Who's smashing that emoji button for us? Every time you think things can get worse in this place, they just go and do, they just go and does. Who vex in the English vex? More accusations against the same and other officials as well. Shall we go into one of them? I don't know how much time you have. Shall we touch on one of them, good folk? Shall we touch on one of them? This morning, Culture News. This morning, Culture News gives another account. Apparently, like it's sex for work with them boys. Nasty man. Robbing our young people of their innocence. Nasty man. Wicked. Stink. Hypocrites. More accusations. I'm telling you all, this is our Me Too moment. Young woman has come forward to say, right? Government official raped her over promised REO job. Yep. Catch your news online, you can read the full thing. Read the full thing. Woman has come forward to share harrowing details of how she was allegedly raped and sexually exploited by a government official who promised her the position of Regional Executive Officer of the Region 2 administration. The woman has since contacted the Dexter law firm, Dexter Associates, and will be filing an official report with the Guyana Police Force. All right? In a statement, she said she met the alleged perpetrator in 2020 when he was a member of the People's Progressive Party youth group. She explained that she was interested in joining the party's group. She shared that during her first time meeting the accused, it was over dinner where they had a professional interaction, but added that some of his actions that evening were very strange. Them is strange people. Them is animals, as a matter of fact. She said his actions were very strange. A few months later, she shared that the official called her about a job offer. I replied with much vigor that I will be at his disposal for the position he mentioned. The young woman detailed in her statement a date and time was later set for them to meet. The woman shared that she was happy to have some sort of real professional conversation with the named official, who said he found her qualified for an REO position. I wasn't comfortable with the post, frankly, so my intention was to discuss this matter with him and his team. He led me to believe that he was traveling with the team, which made sense. On the day of the supposed meeting with the official and his team, the woman shared that she drove to State House in Anne Regina, Region 2, where the official said a meeting was to be held. However, when she arrived, she realized the vibe was strange. It tells a young person, the vibe was strange. It was completely empty, except, this is the State House. It was completely empty, except for one gentleman eating at a table. I did not know what to expect, but the whole setup and energy was not what I was expecting from this named official traveling on official government business. I did not have an indication that the named official was interested in having sexual relations with me. He never indicated any interest, and I obviously never picked up anything of that sort on my radar. I was never attracted to him or interested in him sexually. Right? This man is almost 50 years old, and I'm in my 20s. So I saw him as an elder, not as someone who was having a sexual interest in me. According to the woman, she was taken to a different part of the building, resembling a living room. And after the named official finished his food, we walked to a different section of the building, resembling this living room. Right? As we were out of earshot and sight of the man eating at the table, she provides his name, right? The named official suddenly looks back to make sure we were not being watched. He grabbed my hands in a tight grip and just casually walks up the stairs to an upper floor with rooms opposite each other across the hallway. It was very strange, and I felt pity for him because I assume he thought I was interested. It was embarrassing to have to reject him so blatantly, and I was wondering what made him think I was interested in him. Since I am a lesbian, I've never made any sort of indication I was interested in getting physical. This was all happening so quickly. My mind was racing. And so what was happening, my mind was racing as to what was happening. And I was perplexed. The young woman recounted, finally, young I read the rest in Kaiser News. I give you all everything. Finally, the young woman recounted that from the living room area, the official headed to a self-contained room. I scanned the room, stayed at the door, and I'm unsure how to get myself out of this misunderstanding. However, the named official shoved past me, closed the door, and immediately tries to kiss me. And he forces himself onto me against the wall. I immediately reject his advances and made it clear I was not into having sex with him and that nothing was going to happen. I told him in no uncertain terms I was not sexually attracted to him, and I started to feel guilty as though something was expected of me. I did not know, right, that this was my first stint into politics, and so far I did not know, right, it was some sort of, and so far I did not know if this was some sort of sick initiation process that in order to join the PPP youth arm, right, I did not know if this was some sick initiation process that in order to join the PPP youth arm, you have to sleep with its members, or in order for me to get a job with the government, I had to sleep with this named official. See that? Yeah. She goes on to detail how he starts to have, he tries to have anal sex with her, goes on to have oral sex and all of that. God. Yep, all of that. All of it. I did not know, she says, if this was some sick initiation. And to join the PPP youth arm, have again a little walk. You got to sleep with all these people. Today's Sky True News. And there are other allegations against the person on the discussion and others in the PPP. This is a political party or is a harem? What is it? Is it a political party or a brothel? So you see all this running in Pleasance and so on? You got one name. Distraction. Then why you seeing this, reading about it, thinking about it, or none of those things. And none of those things, good folks. They don't want that. Why do they want it? Huh? No, they want to talk about local government election and how much they win. Huh? But this is how people's lives, they live the experience, and experiences are being affected by this administration and all the perverts and sick bastards that they have there. In the young lady's words, Sky True News today, I didn't know for joining the PAP youth arm, I had to sleep with people. I don't know if I get a little work in government, I have to sleep with somebody. I didn't know. That's what she said. Which again brings to bear what Simona Broom said yesterday on the protest line. The decadence and decay that always comes part and parcel of dealing with the PPP. Decadence and decay. Decadence and decay. We were on the front lines of the protest yesterday, there at the office of the Director of Public Prosecution. Right? Simona Brooms told us a couple of things and touched on this issue. You have to sleep with him. You got to sleep with her. Yeah. For a little walk. For a little walk. Huh? That's what the young woman said. I didn't know to join the people you'd are. I didn't know. We ain't trying to scandal them, but that's what the woman said. That's what she said. Simona Brooms.
Folks, it's another day. We are on the protest line. We are in front of the Director of Public Prosecution's office, and the protesters are having their say. Charge him now. Darmalal must go. That is what they're saying.
But I want to thank the few of us. We don't care. I don't care about the rain. We must come out here. We must stand up. And I want to thank the media for carrying this matter, because you know what? For the PPP, this matter done, they don't carry on with nothing. 1 minute, 2 minutes, everybody disappear. We do as we feel, how we feel. This is unacceptable. And I'm calling on all Guyanese. All of us, move beyond your Facebook page. I'm saying we must mobilize massive against this action. This government is they're disgusting. Listen, I fed up with this PPP. I fed up with these bastards. I am ashamed of listening to all these women who sit down behind there and pretending like you can't talk and coming for bold some hope. How could you rest with this on your mind? I would have never been a part and will never be a part of no government like this. Listen, if Darmalal didn't resign, I'd be gone. I would not sit silent. I hate the system. I work with young people. The young girl, listen, she talk about the young people struggle of this country and how you got to try to fight in a system that is not fair. The young lady herself, she expressed that. It is sad for young people. There's no hope. And I hate to see all these ministers and these men from the president right down, Darmalal, all them. When you go in these community and villages and they're taking a photo and got these girls up under the arm. Why are you touching them like that? Why are you touching them like that? Irfan ain't got no posture. This man ain't got class. No way in the world. Even how he hold them alone. You want to see the guy to resign even from a mayor in New York? Why are you holding our girls like that? Don't hold them like that in compromising position. And they post these things on their social media and as if it's business as usual. Get your posture. This is hard. And Dharmlal sit down home and giving instructions and order at the office. Persons from his office calling and say, listen, this man like he more vicious now. You understand what I mean? And his tone, how he's dealing with them. All these are allegations. There's a system that we don't trust, and you got this young girl and she's speaking from behind the walls and say, listen, this is hard for me. I don't believe in the system. I'm put in a place where as if they want me to compromise myself. What is she? She's speaking out. And then Vindi and all of them, you got this girl and go to the court to get some document that even the lawyers want to speak to her. They got to go through Nandalal. I mean, another Nandalal? Who is Nandalal? By the fluke of imagination, I hope he's happy because he spent a long time to hold something in his hands to call a child. Oh, what about our children out there? What is going on in this country? And people calling me, don't call my phone. Our young people are dying. And when election time, you come in to talk about young people. Who really care about young people? Who care about girls? Yeah? They come for join the police force, everybody who wants sex them. They go in the army, everybody who wants sex them. You go for do medicine. Like I told you, go for do business. They got to compromise themselves. Eh? They got a vision. They got dreams. And you got these predators. Trafficking them. Luring them to exploit them in your house. Eh? It is shameful. Listen, I am saying today, once this girl's story is truth, everybody that will listen to my voice, all the generation for these people who will compromise, curse be them. I said, God send plagues upon them, not like frogs, plagues that they can't even see that will destroy their generation. This is hard. This is hard. And I'm not going to stop. I'm going to come out here. I don't know where's enough. I don't know where's this hoobly-doobly with this DPP. But you got to read so long. Where's all of this? And I'm not intimidated because this they got black van, blue van, green van. This one the radio, this one the walkie-talkie. I don't care which talkie-talkie they got. Why would tell all of them the walkie-talkie back up? Because you see when I hurt and I come out here, don't come wrong me funny. Don't come wrong me funny. I come here peacefully standing for justice. I come as a mother. I come as a woman and I come as a Guyanese and I got a right to stand up. I got a right to pick it where I want. I ain't no bandit or no criminal. Right? I'm a law-abiding citizen and I'm one in shutting up. In shutting up. You understand? So I don't care if it's a CPP, EPP or what. I come today saying that the DPP, don't play with it.
So, honestly,
don't play with it.
You're reporting that persons have reported to you that as against a very penitent Dharmlal, he's more emboldened.
He's more emboldened. And this idiot, if you know the idiot, you know he. I can say like Kalikati. When you listen to this boy, this stupid, disrespectful idiot in the parliament, when you listen to Dharmlal, how we talk and how they address women, listen, this is nothing new to the entire cabinet. Nothing new. And things like this, he's showing off himself. Because he got some authority. But I got news to Dharmlal. I said, Dharmlal, day and night I calling upon my God. You understand? Day and night I calling upon my God. I said, Lord, you will judge Dharmlal for all his sins. Now, before this night, don't forget, he's going to repent. Judgment going to befall them. I don't care when boldly be. You think this is shame falling me? More shame going to fall you. More shame going to fall you. All back of them. And when I come up on this road with my mission, let them leave me alone. Let them back up. Police, liar, back up yourself. When you say come out here and turn it for me, young people, you telling me in Guyana as a Guyanese woman I can't talk? Who is this office that I can't come and stand up and pick it? This is a public office.
So one of the other questions I wanted to ask you, why do you think the women in the PPP government, especially those who hold senior positions, have been so reluctant. I think it's well established now that people would have resigned from office for less accusations than this in other countries that hold what we espouse to be similar democratic values. Why do you think, especially the women in the PPP, have been so reluctant to even offer a neutral statement?
These women don't care. They study the position of the job and the prestige. They don't care about this little girl, you know. I don't want to tell me nothing what you're saying behind. The mere fact you can't step forward, you got a choice. And let me tell you something, Sherrod. You and I got something in common. You believe in your Bible. It's one thing God gave you, you know, is that choice. You got a choice that you could choose. They choose not to. They choose not to. They compromise themselves because of the self. They're feeling good in possession. But I tell you, and I can say it again, woe be unto the whole pack of them. Woe be unto them. Woe be unto them. This is a shameful government. Let me tell you something. I said before and I said again, I have not one drop of respect for your finale. Rubbish that. Rubbish that, Irfan. Rubbish. Rubbish. You could tell me, and you going on like if everything is fine. I want to fight with the DPP. And a girl crying out. And then they got some more statements, but a little one, the next one today, I don't know if you see it. And don't matter what people say. It's what you feel because you temporarily got some power of this office. They got to fall.
The DPP said, I think as reported by Starbuck News, that at the appropriate time, you will know. I mean, that's 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It's 4 years. What do you make of that?
It's because Guyanese, we allow people to go into these public offices and say what they want. How you going to tell me what's the appropriate time? The police wrap up, they finish with from social protection, hand to the police. By 2 days, police hand to DPP. What's this appropriate time? Yeah? Next year? And the public is supposed to wait. And you're not supposed to come to that barricade there. Because like you're in prohibited zone. I say Guyanese. Right? And I in the zone, the broom zone, because I say Guyanese. Any part of this country got a right to be. And a right to stand up and to hear my voice.
Thank you very much.
Former Minister of Government, Simona Brooms there, taking us through several issues. Several issues. You gotta sleep with here, you gotta sleep with it. For a little walk. For a little walk. More accusations, folks. More accusations. We're gonna leave it there. The protest continues today. Folks, I think they're gonna be in front of the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions again today. The protests continue. Find your way down there, folks. Make your voices heard. You know? Make your voice count. Make your voice count. 11:30, they say, in front of the Director of Public Prosecution Office. Gonna see you guys out there in the front lines. Of course, always valid and credible information. Thanks for joining our broadcast this morning. For your information, folks, that's gonna do it for us at this end. Stay safe. The light ones, Sandra, Ayabo, and Neon, and Winella, Simoa, Diane, Graves, Andy, all you wonderful folks, have a great rest of the day. That's going to do it for us. That's going to do it for us at this end. Stay safe, folks. Have a fantastic rest of the morning. Stay safe. That's our time.